Welcome to the City Center Podcast. I'm Jerry Marcello. It's summertime in South Florida, which for parents means just one thing. How do you keep the kids entertained for the next couple of months? There's a simple and inexpensive solution if you're in West Palm Beach. The Mandel Public Library is your answer. We'll show you how the library is packed with fun activities for kids, young and old, this summer. That's next on the City Center Podcast. And joining me today is Christena Carollo, Communication Strategist for the City of West Palm Beach. Christina, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now we're talking about summertime. Summertime is a time when parents are looking for ways to keep their kids entertained. When you say library, they go, well, okay, that's like 2 hours or an hour of looking at a book, and then what? That's not the case at the Mandel Public Library, is it?
No, not at all. So the library is 4 floors of fun, and for kids and adults, but especially the kids. On the 3rd floor, there is a huge kid space up there. So there's books, there's toys, they have programming all summer long, every single day, every morning. They have like story times and stuff like that, different programs like for art and whatnot. Usually they are registration based, so sometimes that's in the morning in person or maybe online. So you definitely have to check out on the website, like when that's going to be happening. But even if you just want to go in and sit in there and, you know, you want to cool off, like the kids can play with toys and stuff. But parents, there's computers up there, so if they really wanted to sit on the computer, they could.
Let's break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So you got 4 floors of good stuff there.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you went over real fast over some of the things, but just to sort of give it more detail, you have like first floor is just popular books, novels, right?
Yes, so that is our popular and like new book section.
Yeah.
Those are also where the express books are. So it's like if you're a fast reader and you can read a book in 2 weeks, pick them up there. If you need a lot longer like me, then the other floors are probably the best. Like the 4th floor is home to all of the most of the collection of the books. So new and popular on 1st floor, and then we have teens on the 2nd floor. So even adults who enjoy young adult fiction can go into the teen section, check out a few books. It's really great.
So there's great summer reading.
Absolutely.
What if I'm into audio? Is there like audiobooks available?
Oh, yeah. So you can actually get like the physical audiobooks if you want to like listen in your car kind of thing. There's like the CD versions. I don't know if they've got the tapes. That's a little old school. Yeah. But you can also do the online version. So they have plenty of like audiobooks, ebooks through like Hoopla or Cloud Library that you can access completely for free with your library card number.
Well, let's talk about that for just a quick section.
Yeah.
Library card. Now,
Yes.
resident, you have to be a resident?
So actually you don't.
Oh, you don't?
You don't have to be a resident. Yeah. So for anyone who's living outside of West Palm Beach, we're not super sticklers. We welcome everybody. So as long as like you sign up, you have your license, you can come in and do it at the front desk on the 1st floor. You could do it online and it'll be mailed to you, I believe, or you can pick it up in person. So if you're a Floridian and you want a library card, you can get one.
That is awesome. I'm used to thinking, okay, well, I live in Lake Worth or I live in North Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I can't go here. You can.
You can,
that's
yes.
really fantastic.
You're welcome to. Please do it.
Yeah.
Also, for some people, even if you're out of state, sometimes you can get a library card.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a trade secret or not, so but it's true. We're very welcoming to everybody because at the end of the day, the goal is to get people reading and to give resources.
Yeah.
Because, it's books for fun, but then it's also for education. And we have like tons, like biographies, memoirs, everything.
Is there a minimum age for a kid a child or a student to get a book? Do you know?
So I'm not sure by themselves what the age would be, but if they're with a parent, I'd have to check into that. But kids can have library cards typically if they're teens, but I think that's a question for the actual librarians at the Mandel Public Library.
Right.
You can call them anytime, and they'll be happy to answer your questions.
And I bet the information's probably available on the city website, right?
Yes.
So go ahead.
WPB-CityLibrary.org.
WPB-CityLibrary.org. Okay, very good. Excellent. All right, so now we know we can get a card. That's fantastic. And so what we'll do is now we're wandering, and we said, okay, I found a couple good books for me to read on the beach, or my son or daughter to read during the summertime. We'll sort of build a book library. But there's more than just books. Tell us a little bit about
and it says it on the booklet.
Okay.
more than just books.
Well, what is that? Tell me what that is.
So this is the booklet that's put out every single month that breaks down all of the programs that are happening in a month. So we have June and July here, and we have some pictures that show us what happened in the library the month previous, and then in here it breaks it down by floor and by section, so kids, teens, adults.
Okay.
It has everything.
All right, so where can folks get that?
So this, you just go into the library and you can get it on any floor. Every desk, they'll have some available right on the desk. Or you can get the digital copy on the library's website where you can actually flip through it like you would, normally, but in the digital version.
Neat. Okay, so
Very
and
cool
that is
stuff.
like the tour guide, the itinerary for the entire summer.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll tell you everything that's going on and if you have to register or not, too. And of course, every single program at the library is free, so that's never an issue. But sometimes they fill up really fast, so they will do registration.
You were talking about that earlier. That obviously there's a lot of folks that they think this is extremely great and very, very popular. So if you want to get a part of very popular programs, it's smart to get there as early as possible to get registered. Is that correct?
Yes. So for the kids, sometimes they will have early morning registration before like story time. So you want to make sure that you're there in the window and that your name is signed up. But for other programs, mostly for like adult programs, even some teens, if there is a registration, typically you can do it online. Or for the art studio, you can do it online as well. And that way it's secured. You could even call and ask if you could be registered over the phone, and then you'll get sent an email.
All right, so to continue our tour of the library, we talked a little bit about the first floor. Wonderful books, reading for younger adults. It's fantastic. Let's move up. What's our next big stop as we tour the library?
So if you go upstairs to the second floor, that is the technology floor. It's also where you have the teen section, so there's YA fiction up there, and there's also a large collection of movies in the DVD format, if we all remember that. So anybody who would love to have the blockbuster experience, blockbuster date night, or if you're reminiscent and you were at previous blockbusters, like I was as a child, you can go and actually check out movies for free on a DVD. And
I'm old
great.
enough to remember when Netflix used to be they send you a DVD.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, I remember that as a kid too. It's kind of like magical. You put it in the DVD player. Usually the bloopers are included and stuff like that. So there's definitely a magic there.
Absolutely.
So
but that is available.
recommend.
Yeah, so
That's
you get
available.
DVDs. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, and the limit is high. I think it's past 20 DVDs at a time. I mean, I don't know who's going to be
You could
checking.
fill a summertime with watching.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff. And actual CDs too. So if you like listening to your music via CD, in older cars, my new car doesn't have it, you can grab a CD and it's really nice.
That's fantastic. Okay, so all right, so we have a world of video and audio on the second floor.
Yes, and the Technology and Innovation Center, plus the art studio. The second floor has a lot going on.
Oh, well, tell me about this innovation center. What's that about?
Yeah, so the Technology Center, Technology and Innovation, is always evolving. Right now they have a 3D printer in there. They have a podcast studio booth where you can go in and record a podcast episode. You could record a song if you're, can sing, or if you're a musician. And there is some equipment in there, like a MacBook in there, so you can record it, you can edit it, and then save it on a flash drive or email it to yourself or whatnot.
How creative. And so
Very cool.
Really neat. So there's a lot of innovative tools there for people to be creative on their own.
Absolutely. And they have a VR headset, and they just got a chair that you can sit in, and it amplifies the experience. I haven't tried it myself, but it sounds really cool. They have tons of different programming, also workshops for if you want to learn, how to do different kind of editing or digital art. There's always a one-on-one opportunity too with Eric, who runs the TIC.
Ah, we know Eric. Eric's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
So there's staff there that will help you out if you don't know how to run the
Absolutely.
gear. Okay. All right.
Very cool. For anyone that has old movies and wants to digitize, they can do that there as well, old tapes or anything. And that's typically popular too. Or even like old photographs, if you want to digitize those, we have a whole station for that, all for free.
Do you recommend, especially things as popular like transferring video and, to file format? Is that stuff that you want to go ahead and book time for? Can you reserve time?
Yes. You can book it ahead of time on the website, or if you call the second floor, the tech desk, they'll be happy to block off times. Usually it's about a 2-hour window, but the librarians are always willing to work with you and find a time that works best for you.
Wow. Just amazing tools at everyone's disposal.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Are we going upstairs yet? We're going to the third floor?
Let's stop at the art studio first, and then we'll go upstairs. But yeah, so the art studio is really cool too. They'll have different programs, all registration based. My favorite one is Happy Little Paintings, where you follow along to Bob Ross, and he will teach you how to paint, and it's just super fun and very nostalgic. So that one is super popular, and there's other things. I believe in July they have coming up a program where you can make little bookcases as well. So it's like just little miniature, very whimsical. You can put it on your bookshelf.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun stuff.
I think I've seen those where it's like a large book, like little rectangle that has like a scene in it.
Its own little world, and this one is like literally just a mini bookshelf.
Oh,
so it's like a bookshelf on your bookshelf.
That's
which is
really
fun.
Cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So lots of great stuff there. So the second floor, definitely check it out. There's also computers on the second floor, so if you just want to go in and do anything under the sun, really, if reading an audio or reading an ebook, you can do that. If you just want to surf the web, you can do that. Some people use it, if they have to apply for a job, they'll use the computers to do that as well.
In this instance, if you went there with your son or daughter, they could be lost looking at books, and you can get on board and check the local news or whatever you want to do.
Exactly, yeah.
So things for the adults to do while they're at the library.
Yes, that's important. The library has something for everyone, or even. Let's go back down to the first floor for a second. If you're familiar with Salento Coffee Shop, they have a window on the first floor. So you can grab a book, grab a treat, maybe a little coffee, sit down and enjoy both at the same time. And it's really nice.
You can't ask for more than that.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially
freshly made coffee.
Either it's a really hot day and you want a nice coffee, you read a book in the library, or if it's raining, which tends to happen during the summer, get a nice hot drink and cozy up in a corner with a good book.
Can't beat that.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely not.
So is there anything else that we should talk about on the second floor?
I think we're moving up.
Okay, moving on up.
Yeah, so we went over the third floor a little bit. That's where the children's area is.
Yeah.
There's also the auditorium there where they have a lot of programming and different rooms there that people can actually rent out. That's all through the website. You could, I'm not sure of the rates or anything like that or how it works, but if you ever want to rent out a room for like a lecture or something, that's also available to people.
Okay. And then that information is probably available on the website
Absolutely,
as well. Okay.
yeah. And then let's go to the fourth floor.
Okay, now we're up to the fourth.
We're up to the fourth. There's also computers up there as well for people to use. You can fax stuff up there, which is cool. If you need to print things, it's great. There's tons of books up there, and there's some of people's favorite reading spots because there's a nice big window up there, too, where people will sit in front of and just, like, curl up with their book. There's vaulted ceilings, so it's really probably the most beautiful area of the library.
It is. Actually, tell a story about last year. We had the opportunity to go and do a live broadcast, podcast from the fourth floor. And it is so beautiful and so relaxing, and the natural light coming through. It is a fantastic place to take a moment for yourself. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So people love it up there. It's also the quiet floor. So anyone who wants silence, wants to study, wants to read and be at peace, they can go to the fourth floor.
At peace.
Yes. And we have the Florida room up there too, which is where a lot of history is kept, especially like Florida history. You can go in and learn some things. So that's very cool too. They really like maintain it well, keep things looking sharp. So if you have, time and you want a museum-like experience, go to the Florida room.
Yeah, and the Florida room, I've been there, and they have newspaper clippings dating all the way back to the turn of last century, essentially.
Yeah.
And they have books and scrapbooks showing all the events that were happening, not at this library, obviously, since it's relatively new, but going all the way back to the other library that's now the area that we have for, Clematis by Night and all those areas down there. So it covers a great deal. It's very, very fascinating.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You can just go be a historian for a day at the library if you so choose, which is very nice. And then one of the coolest things, especially for the summertime, they have a seed library. So if you're into gardening or you want to get into gardening, they have this it's literally like a catalog of seed packets. There's herbs, flowers, vegetables, and you can take up to 6 seed packets every month per patron. And every Monday, the first Monday of every month, they add new seeds in.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's information too about like how to grow that particular plant in the area.
So it could be flowers or it could be a vegetable perhaps?
Yeah.
So what happens if you keep the seeds too long and you haven't returned them? Do you have to
Well, I think the library would understand. That's okay.
Maybe you have to bring back some vegetables to make up for it as a penalty.
I think that's good.
Okay,
yes.
right.
Please bring your local librarian a flower, or if you grow a tomato, that's great too.
I have never heard of a program like that where the libraries is distributing seeds. It's fantastic.
Right? Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
I love that. And it's completely free, which is my favorite part about the library.
So we're at a point now where we're looking at weeks and weeks of summer, and we've got kids who are probably just now sort of burning out all the obvious stuff that they can do, like go to the beach or go to the pool, and now parents are starting to panic. What am I going to do to keep these kids entertained?
Yeah,
okay, so tell us what's happening. What kind of things are coming up specifically that people should be looking out for?
So I think there's always stuff happening every day. I think that's really the magic of it. So there's not even like that one big thing during summer necessarily, but they're having stuff all the time. Like I happen to be on the teen program list right now for July.
In that wonderful
in the wonderful booklet at the library. Yes, shout out to Lucas who does this at the library. He creates these booklets. Nice. So right now I'm looking at very cool programming. There's a teen movie club, so they'll play a movie for the teens. They can come in. I believe they provide snacks even. Don't quote me, but I believe there are snacks. Okay. So teens can get together, do that. There's a teen game day. That's Thursdays 2 to 4 in July. And then teen hip hop on Fridays, which is really cool. And also even Flamingo Coders, which is teaching coding to like young up and coming coders.
See, I love that. The reason why that strikes me as being so important is that you usually find like daycare during the summertime, little camps and stuff are geared towards very young children.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you hit a point when you get to be a teen, you're like, whatever, just hang out. And that's not really a good thing. Seeing these programs that are specifically targeting teens, that's smart. That's really smart.
Yeah, indeed. And there's so much going on here to get out of the heat because, teens got a lot of energy, kids got a lot of energy, but it is hot out there. So being able to go in the library and do fun stuff, like I just looked up and I see teens tie-dye. That sounds so cool. Yeah. So that's happening as well, Saturday, July 19th. So all across the board, almost every day of the week, they've got something. They must average over like 150 programs.
Wow.
A month. Again, don't quote me. I'm bad with math, but yeah.
And it's important to reiterate, these programs have limited attendance, so you really do need to get on, sign up for them, find a way to get on the list so that they know you're coming and that you're being a part of it. They're free.
Yes. And it'll always tell you if there's registration required or if you can just show up.
Right.
Like some of like the auditorium, like lectures that they do, you can just show up, which actually brings me to a fun point. Mm-hmm. There are 2 author talks coming up, which are really cool. Let me, in my handy dandy notebook, find that information for everyone because it is really cool. They're also going to be doing book signings. The first author that will be there is Leslie Gray Streeter. She has a new book coming out called Family and Other Calamities, a novel. So she was is an award-winning journalist and podcast host. She would be great on here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And she also used to do the entertainment and lifestyle column for 18 years at the Palm Beach Post. Really cool. So that would be amazing to sit down and to listen to her talking about her new book and then to get it signed. Be awesome. And we have another individual coming named Tom Turner, who will be discussing his career in writing crime books.
Oh.
Also available this July. So for adults that want to get out of the heat or get out of the rain and want to,
Now, are these
talk
in the
about
middle
literature.
Are these in the middle of the day, or is it more towards evening? What's the times?
Actually, let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
I don't really know.
Because I'm curious. Maybe I might jump on some of that.
You should. So yeah, if you have the July booklet, it is on page 17. You can find it. So here we have, it's going to be 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
With Leslie Grace Streeter. So that's 6:30 to 7:30. And then 2 to 3 p.m. with Tom Turner. So July 18th, Tom Turner, 2 to 3. And then Leslie Grace Streeter, Wednesday, July 9th at 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay, so you could easily go down, take part, listen to this wonderful, and then maybe go get a bite on Clematis.
Absolutely, yeah. That's perfect, actually. After that, you could go look at the water even. Get a bite, go down to the water, enjoy the sights. It's really nice.
Okay, so what other items should we talk about today?
Ooh, what else do we have? So there is a cool program coming up, and if you are interested, I definitely recommend looking into it and seeing if registration is required, because there will be an American Sign Language Learning the Basics Part 1 at the library in July, which is really
nice.
cool. So if you want to learn sign language, this could be the perfect opportunity.
Fantastic. I mean, and that's a great thing to learn. And, folks don't get the opportunity to learn that skill and to learn how to communicate. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and there's others. So we have a whole section in the back, pages 18, 19, that are community resources. And there's even like ESOL English conversation groups where people can practice talking in English to each other, speaking English to each other. And then there's actually on page 19 programs that are in Spanish for people that are interested in different programming. So there's also that page dedicated to people who might have a better understanding if it's in their native language.
Okay. So it seems to me like there's something for everyone, no matter what age. You could be a toddler, you could be, a tween, you could be a teenager, and there's always something for you to do this summer.
Yeah, and that's the wonderful thing. It's whatever you want. I mean, you go into the library and you can really hone your experience to what you're feeling that day. Maybe it's finding a DVD or a book, or it's doing a program. It's, taking part in an art class, or just talking to a librarian. Librarians love talking about books. They're very friendly. You can always go up to the desk, ask any questions. It's a really great place also just to make friends. I feel like people come in and they do meet other people who are reading similar books or in the same program. So it's just a great part of our social infrastructure.
It's a hub
community.
for the community, right?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Well, all right, we've covered a lot of ground, and we talked about many things. Let's once again remind people how they can get information about what's going on.
Absolutely. So I would say the best thing to do, if you're in the area, grab a booklet, because this will give you the rundown. But also you can go to WPB-citylibrary.org at any time. And everything that's going on will be on there. This booklet will be available. They also have their separate event listings, like a calendar listing, and then you can register directly online. Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know if we covered this, but one of their big things going on right now is their summer reading program.
Oh, tell us about it,
which
please.
is really cool. So we definitely have to end on books,
Mm-hmm.
Just feels right.
Library.
But exactly. Yeah. So the theme is Color Our World. And adults can take part as well as teens and kids. So if you go, if you want to sign up for this, if you're serious about it, there are prizes involved.
Ooh.
I know. You can go to Mandel Public Library .beanstack, BEANSTACK.com. Mandel Public Library .beanstack.com. And Beanstack is a platform where you can actually log all the books that you're reading and leave reviews. And every time that you do, you can open different, what's the word? I forgot.
Yeah.
And every time you do, you can complete challenges. You get tickets that you can put in drawings for actual prizes. They have really good prize bundles that they share on like social media and whatnot. And also through Beanstack, you can see what it is. It could be a tote bag, free books, all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, and usually books themed, which is really nice. So yeah, and I think for adults, you only have to read up to 5 books to complete the whole challenge. And then you get the opportunity to submit tickets to win prizes, and that's always great. So I highly recommend. And for the kids, I believe it's done by minutes read. So not necessarily the amount of books, but if they spent 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they can log those minutes and then also have the opportunity to get prizes, which is awesome.
That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
they're fun games, contests, resources to take advantage of all
Yeah.
during the summer. It is the center for summer. It'd be a great place to stay.
It really is. And now that we're talking about it, something else comes to mind, which
What's
is
that?
amazing because it's never ending at the library, honestly. I'm probably not even scratching the surface. But there also is Collection Connection, which is a partnership with the Mandel Public Library and Art Life WPB. So that's a public art program here at the city. So you get a little booklet. You can go to the 4th floor if you're an adult or the 3rd floor if you're a child. And there's booklets that you go through, and it might be like, go find a piece of art around the city, which there are 80 plus pieces of artwork, public art available in the city. And there might be a prompt, or write a poem about this. How does it make you feel? And you fill out this book. Then you bring it back to the library and you show them that you finished it and you completed the challenge. And you will get a little collector's pin.
Oh,
Yes.
that's nice.
Right? Isn't that lovely? It's
Yeah.
a little pin to take home. And then you can also be entered into a prize drawing. So there's so many opportunities for prizes at the library, which is great. We love prizes.
There is no reason for anyone to be bored during the summer here in the city of West
Absolutely
Palm
not.
Beach.
Yeah. Just walk into the library and like start a conversation with someone at the front desk.
Yeah.
And there's a treasure trove. They can like point you in the right direction, which floor to go to, which, section for whichever genre you're looking for. There's tons.
Well, kudos to our friends over at the Mandel Public Library. It is amazing what they
awesome.
provide. And thank you for all your time today sharing with us how we
Absolutely.
make the most of Mandel Public Library during the summer.
Yes, please go to the library. It's the best.
And thank you for joining us for the City Center podcast. This is a production of the City of West Palm Beach Communications Department. I'm Jerry Marcello. We'll see you next time.